Good morning. Today they say is a sunny day, but the sunny days are not for long. And I'm not referring to the sunny days of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. I'm not referring to the sunny days of the weather. I'm referring to the sunny days of our economy, and when I see the sorry state of our economy, I shudder at the winter of economy that is likely to beset us, that faces us, and yet we, the Canadians, ostrich-like, are happy with this sunny day. The sunny day that doesn't exist. The sunny day that's a mirage. Yesterday, IMF, International Monetary Fund, was pleased to downgrade the growth forecast of Canada. For this year, it will be 1.3%. That's it. The growth of a G8 economy, which is supposed to be the best in the world, which has the largest natural resources anywhere in the world, which has no defense liabilities, which has a storehouse of knowledge and capabilities, which attracts knowledge from all over the globe. That country, that Canada, the economic growth is projected at 1.3%. Compare it with inflation, which is 2.9% at wholesale, 7% for the groceries, and so on. For a common man, while the growth is 1.3%, the real inflation is practically 9 to 10%. What a growth! Isn't it a mockery? And we pride ourselves on being the aid givers. Do you know, we are possibly have a distinction where our debt today, the national debt, the public debt, the debt that all the Canadians today and our future generations have to pay back. They are bearing it today, but ultimately they have to pay it back. That debt is more than our GDP. Imagine your family, all your assets, all your income, and your debt is more than that. It is worse than being a bankrupt. Today, our debt is 100.7 of our GDP. What a sorry state of affairs. If I go down further, you would have a further shock. The average Canadian, we know, has 167% debt more than his income. 52% Canadians, 52%, more than 50%, more than half. 52% Canadians are just $200 away from facing heavy debt. Debt they are already having, but heavy debt, crippling debt, deadening debt, suffocating debt. So, the IMF downgrades our economy, the growth rate, to 1.3%. Our total debt is more than our GDP. 52% Canadians are just $200 short of being crippled by debt. And still we say we are enjoying the sunny days, and still we say that everything is fine with the world, at least with our economic world. In which delusional world are we living? Where are our delusional leaders leading us? I know it's easy to be carried away by sloganeering, by false hopes, but let's be realistic. The foreign aid that we give, I'm not objecting to that, but the foreign aid we give is such a burden, and we are adding to that without winking an eye, without any blink. $500 million for the refugees, another $500 million for another side. Give money to Haiti. Good. Be generous. But when your children are dying of hunger, does it behove you to feed others? Charity always begins at home. That's one part. The second part is the trade deals. Why is it that we are becoming a net importer of things? We say we are capable and we depend on outsiders for everything. I was very happy when I learned that Canada is the largest supplier of the pulses to the world. Canada is the largest supplier of the canola oil. Canada has the largest capability to grow agriculture produce just in 100 growing days. Imagine it. India has 3 growing seasons. And at some places even 4 growing seasons. In Canada there is only 1 growing season, that is only of 100 days, when the crops that we planted, grown, harvested, stood. And yet we had set an almost a world record in agriculture production. In knowledge, I have already said, whether it's medical, whether it's space, whether it's telecommunication, we are leaders. And yet everything practically of day-to-day use, right from your underwears to your clothes, to your cutlery, to your crockery, and even your food is imported. Why? And imported from those places which you say are not dependable, which have a bad record of the human rights, like China, where the people are exploited, as that fire in Bangladesh factory showed, where child labor is there as in Indian carpets. And yet, in spite of our natural resources, in spite of our capabilities, and in spite of our much wanted financial system, which we say is the best in the world, our debt today is higher than our GDP. And IMF downgrades its growth potential to just 1.3%. Our finance minister is a banker and has been a businessman. How is it that he has not been able to take stock of the situation and come up with something revolutionary? I was shocked the other day when the Bank of Canada governor, Pollard, said that possibly they might have to freeze the money saved by the people in the banks. Now, I have yet to verify the veracity of that statement. But if such a rumor does exist, there must have been some talk of this nature. Why is it that our leaders are not concerned at this sorry state of economic affairs? Let's not forget that the economic power is what makes you. It's not your profession of being good. It's not your aid-giving capability. It's not your talk of the human rights, but it's your economic power that makes your people have a healthy, happy life inside the country and lets you have a cloud outside. Today, the situation is such. People take your money and say, what a fool you are that your own economy is bad and you are giving aid. They smirk behind your backs. They laugh at you. They make fun of you. And the laudatory talk which misleads our politicians, the adulatory talk which misinforms our political leadership, is just putting blinkers on them. Why is it that neither the government or any of its arms, whether it's executive, whether it's legislature, or even the ever vigilant press, has not come up and exposed this big issue that is facing each and every Canadian today? A news item comes, people talk about it and they forget it. The whole issue is so explosive, and yet we are behaving like ostriches. Now the question arises, can it not be set right? It can be. As I said earlier, Canada is lucky to have great natural resources. Canada is further lucky to have great human resources. Canada is lucky to have great storehouse of knowledge and initiative. What it lacks is A, a sense of direction, B, a absence of appropriate taxation policies, C, lack of rewards for innovativeness and invention, D, entrepreneurial skills. They are okay as a small time entrepreneurs, but rarely do they think big. They are happy if they have a leg of chicken and a beer in the evening, majority of them. How many multinationals have been spawned in this country? Even BlackBerry, which was supposed to be a landmark in the economic development, has now stopped manufacturing its parts and is outsourcing the hardware from abroad. That means more jobs going out. You know, this is a curious paradoxical situation. You say you need immigrants because you have more jobs than the people. In fact, the unemployment rate is more than 7% today. And then you all have offshore manufacturing because you don't have the wherewithal. It's cheaper to get it manufactured outside. Why cannot the tax structure be modified to ensure that you have, if not cheaper, competitive edge on the others? Why is it that we cannot manufacture things which are very normal every day, and we don't do it because they are much cheaper outside? Simple. Come out of this cocoon of free trade. Protect yourself, protect your industry, create more jobs. Imagine, I go to the market, I wanted a knife, and it's either German or Chinese, Korean. Why? We have the finest carbon steels here in the world. Why can't we manufacture it? We had a great steel mill in Hamilton, and we sold it to US, and half of it is closed down. We were the first to have, are the only ones to have. You remember Chalk River, where we were making radioisotopes. 95% of the world's radioisotopes were being made in this country. Where are we today? We manufactured one Canadian arm for the space exploration and crow about it for years and years. We were the pioneers in BlackBerry sort of a thing, iPhone, and today where are we? The whole thing needs a reappraisal of our policies, and not only literal reappraisal, but actual reappraisal to ensure that the amended policy is implemented. Cut out your so-called welfare system. The welfare system is breeding drones and parasites. Cut out your talk of the free trade. Have fair trade. There is a difference between free trade and a fair trade. We need fair trade. We need Canada. Have to save Canada from economic disaster, from economic slavery. When I came to this country, I was asked to give a talk to Albany Club. And I said, who says Canadians are an independent country? Your security, you look towards USA. And economically, you are the 51st state of USA. Mr. Pettigrew, at that time, Minister of Industries, he was there in the audience and he said, no, Dr. Lamba, we are not the 51st state, we are the 52nd state, because the privilege of being the 51st state goes to Mexico. So even in the worst of the things, the worst of the possibilities, we do not have a claim to that. Let's forget and stop caring about this adulation of being good people. Okay, we are good. But we first have to look for ourselves. Stop it today till your economy is such that you can afford to give it. Today you are cutting your flesh to feed others. I'm saying cutting your flesh, really. Figuratively, you are doing that. Stop it. Being charitable is good. Being alive is much better. And being able to live and do well so that you can be more charitable in future is the best. Be that. Or you'll be a laughing stock of the world. Choice is yours. It might be hard. It might be tough. But that's a choice you have got to make. The economy is a driving force today. If you are economically powerful, you can think of being good to the others. It's just like that, You want to support a cripple and want to carry him along with you. But if you are weak physically yourself, can you do it? Similarly, being charitable, you are using your resources to help others. But those resources you could utilize to help yourself, make more capital, and then help others in a better way, in a bigger way. We are penny wise, pound foolish. We have forgotten that old Scottish phrase, a penny saved is penny gained. We have forgotten the basic human understanding, charity begins at home. Look after yourself first, then look after others. Even simple things while you're traveling in an aircraft. And there's taboo, as they say, before you put the oxygen mask on the child beside you, put the mask on yourself. Because if you are not fully protected yourself, you cannot protect others. And here we are letting our economy go to dogs with a false, misleading plea helping others, we are just eroding our resources. And when we say we are going to dogs, the dogs must be wondering how long it's going to take before we are really their food. I know I'm sounding pessimistic, but that's a reality. We have to open our eyes to the reality. Unless we accept that reality, we cannot take effective steps to change the reality, which is not a very happy situation, let me tell you. But I would prefer to be derided today for being a realist than tomorrow be in the company of sorrowing, crying Canadians. A change from the happy Canadians, the Canadians who matter, the Canadians who are really human. They would not be so if this trend, the economic trend, continues. Let's hope that our political leaders and the bureaucrats wake up before it's too late, wake up before it's beyond retrieval, beyond repair. Have a nice day. Hopefully the sun in the sky also becomes the sun in the economy, bright, shining. Good day.